What's up, guys? Back here with another video today, and today we are going to be watching a little bit of anime horror stories, we are going to be doing that. I gotta see if I'm recording or not. Oh, Windows Alt G. Windows Alt G. I have to see if I'm recording, because I'm recording on my laptop and it's new, so I'm gonna try to give you guys. Oh, am I recording? Alright, I think I am. Hang on, what happens? Oh, I just brought all this up, man. Great. Alright, guys, I think we got it now. As you guys can see, it's recording. So, let's get into it. This is a Bob the Builder one. Turn my volume down, it's a little loud. Yes, I do have a Microsoft computer. Just read the stuff at the bottom. This is a Bob the Builder one. It's pretty creepy. I'm gonna give you guys a warning. Before you guys watch this, if you guys don't want to ruin your childhood from back then, if you guys watched Bob the Builder or all these other cartoon shows, because that's what we're going to be really watching today, then don't watch this. I prefer you not to watch this. I'm just going to give you a warning right now. But yeah, and this is my new setup too. But let's give you what I promised you guys to watch this and get a reaction of it. Sorry about that, dude. Oh. He's pretty short to be Bob the Builder. I mean, unless he is short. I don't remember. He looks like an old man now. He fixing the floor. Sorry if my mic's in the way. That's my new mic. Can we fix it? Since I was okay, what's wrong with this guy's neck? There ain't like no bones in his body. Okay, it's been since I was 2 or 3 since I watched this. Okay, whoa. Okay, first of all, I mean, how does this guy extend his neck like that? Is he like a spirit or something? I mean, this guy is Yoki Bob the Builder. That's the name. That's the name. Wow, that right there is the name. It's been since I was 2 or 3 since I watched this, and this is not what I actually expected. You better let him fix that leak that you guys are having. Probably why he came. Sounds like a, what do you call it? Sound like a person. No, we can't. Oh. Found him. Both. Jeez. I don't know if you guys are seeing this. Come on, man. Hey, that's crazy. What is wrong with this guy? That's not Bob the Builder. That's... how can this man take care of his family if he can't take over his home? Oh, he's fixing that leak for him when he destroyed everything in the house. One little leak. What the heck? That, I think that just ruined my childhood dreams, honestly. That ruined my childhood. I never imagined Bob the Builder like that. But I warned you guys. I had to warn you, though. I had to warn you about that. But I will see you in the next video. So yeah. Alright guys, we are back, and we are about to watch Llama Arts. I don't know if you guys ever seen the videos, but I will post the channel down in the link in the description below, along with the other things. But we're going to be watching Llama Arts today, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So, yeah. These are 13 scary, or even more animated horror stories, but we're definitely not going to be watching for 54 minutes. I'm going to tell you that. Maybe just a few stories to catch up with the video. But yeah. And also, guys, leave down in the description below what videos you guys want to do next after this one. But yeah, let's turn on my mouse real quick. I don't know if this stuff stopped recording. But I'm gonna record it real quick. Just new computer. I never had a computer.
Been about 5 years ago when I was 21. Me and my friend Seth got into this app which showed you ghosts. We'd go out ghost hunting, but nothing much would happen. Sometimes a dot would appear on one of our phones and it would say random words. We would ask, "How did you die?" and stuff like that. And sometimes the answers lined up, but it was mostly random. One night, around 2 a.m., Seth suggested going to the cemetery to see if the app picked anything up. I was hesitant, but I nervously agreed.
Oh, they have these ghost apps.
We started making our way through the neighborhood towards the cemetery. It was weird as the streets are normally lined with cars, but they were empty on this night. We walked down the middle of the road with the app running, but it wasn't picking anything up. We finally made it to the cemetery, which was a small, family-owned one where they only buried their own. Seth went up to the gate and started shouting, hoping to get a response on the app, but nothing happened.
That's Shadow.
I was standing in the road, feeling unsettled, when Seth starts yelling,
"Is that all you've got?"
I told him to stop disrespecting the dead and we should leave. He tried being funny, saying,
"Oh, I'll make them show up."
And jumped the gate and started stomping on the graves while screaming.
"Come on, show us something."
All of a sudden, our phones said something at the same time. I looked down at my phone and it was there. We both just stood there, looking at each other, when 10 or so red dots appeared on the radar, and it said it again. When I looked back up from my phone, Seth was next to me. I said,
"We have got to go."
As soon as I said that, we could hear the street lights turning off one by one from the top of the street, getting closer to us. We took off running as fast as we could. We got about halfway into the neighborhood before running out of breath and having to stop. I felt like I was gonna throw up from being scared and winded. Then I heard my phone say something. It was muffled, but I knew what it said. Being too scared to look at my phone, I looked at Seth, who looked terrified. He nodded at me to get my phone out, so I slowly pulled it out, and it said my name across the top. I turned my phone off and said,
Screw this. I'm done.
We made our way back to my house and had a cigarette to calm down. We were talking about what just happened,
It was off.
almost not believing it, when I heard my phone again. This time it was my sister's name. We just stood there, frozen, not saying a word, when it went off again and said my brother's name. I took my phone out, turned it on, and deleted the app. I asked Seth to stay the night, but he refused. I can't blame him. When I finally got to sleep that night, I dreamt a muffled voice repeating a word over and over. I started to wake up and the words became clearer. My phone was off, with the battery out. But when I turned it over, it was lit up with the app running. It had a red dot.
You need
about
to get out of
6
there.
feet
You
from
need
me,
to jump out the
still
window or
repeating.
something, or if you don't have one, run out the door. Oh no. That soul, it ain't good. Neither is that. The woman in the white dress. Yeah, I probably would have blacked out right there too. I'm not gonna lie.
I woke up the next morning and went to the bathroom. I had a razor-thin cut from my left shoulder to my right hip. I don't know what happened that night, and nothing has happened to me since.
Yeah, I wanted
Needless to
either.
say, I don't mess with that kind of
Be
stuff
honest.
anymore.
Sometimes bad things happen. You like that? Mess with that stuff.
Over the weekend, about
Oh,
15
I think I've heard
co-workers
of that
and
hotel
myself had our
once.
company trip to the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park,
Yeah, The
known
Shining.
for being Stephen King's inspiration for The Shining.
Here's Johnny.
We took an 8 p.m. ghost tour where we joined about 15 other people to get guided around the property and told stories about its history and creepy things that are said to have happened. We were told to
Yes.
take a lot of pictures, I'm sure to try and capture orbs or ghosts. Many green orbs were caught in pictures, but I don't think anything is as creepy as this photo taken by my coworker. A little girl in a hot pink dress who was definitely not on our tour. And apparently, years ago, a young girl who was 12 to 13 by the name of Lucy was squatting in the basement of the concert hall, which is where this photo was taken, and she was discovered upon plans to begin some construction. She was forced to leave, and the night got below freezing, so she froze to death. Everyone on my tour has vouched that this girl was not on our tour. I mean, who wouldn't remember someone wearing hot pink? The man pictured is our tour guide. No one would have been in front of him. I am convinced that this is the ghost of Lucy. Just one more added note, though I doubt anyone would believe me. But there was only one time throughout the tour where I felt any
Oh, there's an
strange
ad.
energy or feeling. And it was right there, headed down to the basement of the concert hall.
Sorry, guys.
Every time nacho fries came back, that bold seasoning was drawing something closer.
Hey,
and once
Dads.
they taste that warm nacho cheese sauce, they won't stop till there's nothing left.
Taco Bell's Fry Force, now serving in a Taco Bell near you.
What's that? Plain white sauce? Plain white sauce makes your teeth go grey.
What the hell was that? I don't know what that was.
This happened a few weeks ago when I was walking home from school, excited that my freshman year was coming to an end. It was a Tuesday night when I was turning in my last essay for history. I left it to the last minute, and the teacher actually made me complete it before I could go home. I hated my teacher for that. Around 8 p.m., I had finished that goddamn essay and was walking home. The rain had stopped, and there was a beautiful sunset. Suddenly, I noticed something. There was a red 2016 Toyota Camry right behind me. I got goosebumps thinking it was following me. I didn't look back and started walking in my apartment's direction. I wanted to go to a busy road to feel safer. Just then, the car sped up,
Wow.
stopping right next to me.
Don't have
A
to take
middle-aged
rides.
man asked me where I
You
was
don't have to
headed
take those
and
rides
suggested
from
to drop
those
me off.
strangers.
I said no thanks, but the man wouldn't leave and insisted. I wanted to tell the man to just fuck off, but I took off running instead. I heard a loud noise and at the same time felt something I can only describe as a sharp vibration hitting my flesh. I fell to the ground not knowing what happened. Out of adrenaline, I was about to get up and run again as I felt a heavy arm grab me by the mouth. Then the pain set in. I realized that I was shot. There was another man next to him that searched my pockets. He grabbed my
That's
phone
scary.
and threw it on the ground as he tied my legs and taped my mouth. They quickly put me into the trunk of their car and then started driving. I could feel that we were going very fast, and I'm sure that we hadn't stopped at all for a good 30 minutes. I was feeling my blood soaking into my shirt, which scared me the most. I was certain that I was going to die. I was thinking about my parents and what they would feel when they heard that I was missing. Then the car came to a stop. By some miracle, I heard a police officer asking for IDs and driver's licenses. I wanted to yell for help, but nothing came out. Just then, I heard 3 to 4 gunshots. I heard another cop yelling,
Man down! Man down!
Thank God, just saved him right there.
I was begging the cop to find me. Then I heard the cop searching the car. I was feeling joy as my pain was growing worse. Seconds felt like hours. The officer then opened the car's trunk and suddenly started firing at me out of a fight or flight response. Thankfully, the bullets missed. The officer quickly caught up to the fact that I was kidnapped and injured. He called for backup immediately, and it arrived in minutes. They placed the injured officer onto a gurney and drove off in an ambulance. Finally, when the scene was safe, they called another ambulance for me. I woke up in the hospital. The news media was everywhere. I was fine after a few days, but later learned that the officer that was shot didn't make it.
Hopefully.
I don't know if
Prison.
those men are still alive or rotting away in a prison for killing an officer. I don't want to know what would have happened
that could be
if those
true. You never
officers
know what's
hadn't
gonna
stopped the
happen.
car.
Next. Just be careful when you're walking outside. Got crazy people around here.
This happened when I was 17 years old.
Gotta ride the bus.
I would go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and ride the bus home. It was a Sunday and I had just missed my bus,
That's
so I had
gonna
to wait
suck even
longer for
more.
another one. I would have called my parents, but they were out for the evening, and
I've
taxis
heard
charged
stories
more,
all about
so I
these.
decided
Yeah,
to sit and wait
you
in the
gotta
bus
go.
shelter.
I'd rather just walk home.
It was a cold night, and snow had
I'd rather
just
just
started
walk
peppering
home,
the
honestly.
ground.
Because
My
I've
bus
heard
was
these
taking
stories
longer
before.
than usual,
You know,
so I got my
some
phone out and
weirdo
listened to
guy
some
or
music.
girl walk up
Almost
to the
an
bus
hour had
station and
passed.
try to.
It was freezing and I
kidnap you
hadn't
or
seen
something.
anyone at all. That was until
Yep,
I
there
noticed
you go.
something out of the
There you
corner of
go.
my eye.
Would already walked away.
It was
I
a
would've
creepy
already-
guy dressed
I
in
would've-
thick layers of clothing, walking
out.
slowly
I'm out.
towards me. I knew staring at him would draw more attention, so I just focused
Yeah,
on my phone.
yeah. See,
He
should have
sat
took my
down at
advice
the
if I
other
was
end of
there.
the shelter and just stared at me. There was something off about him. He seemed like he was either drunk or on drugs. He then asked,
I don't know. When are you due for your next doctor's appointment? Because it looks like you
I
need to
took
go.
out my earphones and said, "I think it's delayed, because of the snow." He stared at me for a while, then started mumbling to himself. He was really starting
When
to
is your
creep me
funeral,
out, so
dude?
I
'Cause it
pretended
looks
to be
like
on
you're
my
already
phone.
dead.
After a
skin's
couple of
really pale,
minutes, I
dude.
took another look. He moved closer to me.
You need to go. You
I
need
looked
to
away
get
for a
out of there.
second, then heard the sound of him sliding even closer. I turned to him and said, "You
You need
okay
to get
there?"
out of there.
He stared at me with glossy eyes,
Out of
lifted
there.
his arm and leaned towards me. Immediately, I grabbed my bag and ran as he fell to the ground. I ran down the road, trying my hardest not to look back. I kept going until I got to
Huh,
the next bus
yeah.
stop. I turned around to check to
Ran
see if he
away.
was there. He was
That's what I
gone,
would've
so I
done.
went to sit down. Feeling relieved, I rested my head on the back of the glass and waited for the bus.
That's what happens at bus station. Oh man.
I jolted
Why would
and
you
turned
go
around
back?
to see the
Why
same
would you go
guy
back?
staring at me through the glass.
What the hell is wrong
Grab your
with
bag
you?
and go.
Then he
Well, screw the
started
bag.
walking
Screw
around the
the book
shelter
bag.
towards me.
Just go.
I'm warning you, stay back.
I yelled
Oh.
in panic as I was backing
Why
up.
couldn't you just run?
I wanted to run, but I left
Your
my bag
life's-
in the shelter and I couldn't leave without it.
Life's more than that bag.
Suddenly, the man leaped at me and I quickly moved out of the way.
Sorry guys, I can't
Well,
come to
that
lunch.
was a good move. You just back up and when he lunged at you.
I fell to the ground face first. I froze in shock, then noticed the
Probably
blood
I
coming
would
from his
grab my bag
face.
and go.
I tried to get a response out of him, but nothing
Dude, that's what
worked.
a nice guy would do.
I called the police and paramedics and they arrived shortly after. I told them what had happened and they told me that the guy was on prescription drugs. They found a photo in his wallet of him and his son. The boy looked just like me, so we assumed he thought I was him. I later learned that he had lost his son in a custody battle and went off the rails. He was taken away for treatment.
Oh,
That
he
was the
didn't have
last I
driver's
saw of him.
license.
I got my driver's license
Dude,
shortly
the man
after,
was just right there.
and have never been on a bus since.
Make sure he ain't right by me either. Hopefully he went to jail. I wasn't even born yet. November.
It was November
2006.
of 2006.
December 2007.
I was a 16-year-old kid living in the town of Altoona, Iowa. I went to bed
And
early
a
one
year I'd be
night because
born.
I had to work the early shift at McDonald's. As I slept, I had a dream that I was running through downtown Des Moines, but I wasn't on a jog. I was running from something. As I ran around the corner of a building, I came face to face with my pursuer.
Is that Willy Wonka or
A
something?
tall man wearing a trench coat and a top hat stood in front of me. The only thing visible of his face was his eyes. They were
That's scary.
abnormally large with black pupils, and it looked at me as if it wanted something. After what felt like hours,
Yeah, to his
he
chocolate
reached out his
factory.
bony hand, as if he wanted me to go with him. I woke up violently from my dream, and after catching my breath,
don't
I
look like
peered
you're
around
safe.
my room to see if I was safe. As I stood up from my bed, I noticed that I could see my breath. Feeling confused, I checked my window. It was latched shut. I then walked over and checked my vent. I could still feel warm air coming from it. As I sat back down on my bed, I tried to figure out what exactly was going on.
Ooh, Willy Wonka.
That's when the figure from my dream appeared at the foot of my bed. I scrambled back to my headboard.
What do you want?
I asked, trying to hide the shakiness in my voice.
His teeth, I guess his teeth.
With the same bony finger, it pointed at me. Growing
Yeah,
up in a
Willy
religious
Wonka
home, I believed what I was looking at was a demon. I told the creature to leave. It just waved its finger at me, and with a low voice, it spoke to me.
Never leave. Always here.
The creature then screamed loudly
Ooh,
and disappeared.
that was black
A
vomit.
feeling of nausea came over me,
That
and
was
I
black
vomited on my
vomit.
floor. The last thing I remember was cleaning
was
myself
that?
up and waking up to my alarm. It's been about a month since I had seen the top hat wearing man in my bedroom. The Christmas season was in full effect. My parents weren't home because they got invited to some kind of event, so it was only me and my 3 sisters at home. I had to wake up early in the morning for work, so I decided to go to sleep. I rested my head on my pillow and closed my eyes. Not even 30 seconds passed until my sisters burst into my room and started singing obnoxious songs. This, of course, made me very angry,
'Cause
but I
they're
thought if I
bored.
ignored them that they would leave me alone. This was not the case. As I pulled the blankets over my head, I started to feel the same cold feeling that I had in November. As the obnoxious singing subsided, I lowered the
When is
blanket
this man
below
gonna
my
go
eyes
away?
and saw the man standing in the corner of my room.
Boy, get out of my room.
In one swift motion, he charged towards me, and I blacked out. When I finally came to, I found that my sisters had locked themselves inside the bathroom. As I knocked on the door, they told me to go away. I asked them what happened, and all they could say was Mom and Dad were on their way home. I looked down and saw that my hand was slightly bloody.
What happened?
Holes were in the
Just
bathroom
blacked
door,
out.
and a broom was sticking out of the wall. I then walked into the living room and found that there were knives stuck into the wall as well. The same wave of nausea passed over me, just like in November, and I threw up again. As I was cleaning up, my parents walked through the
It
door.
wasn't his fault.
My father immediately walked over to me and gave me a good beating. Then he sent me to my room. I went to bed crying, not from the beating. I was crying because of the confusion. I had no idea what was going on. The next morning, my sisters reluctantly sat next to me and told me what had happened. They said I got angry and chased them down and tried to hurt them. They said my eyes were red to the point where they thought I was bleeding
You
from
look
them.
drunk.
They said I sounded like a different person. In 2011, that was the last time I saw the top hat wearing man. I just moved into a new apartment, and after a long, stressful day of unpacking, I took a shower and got ready for bed.
What is this guy gonna
As
go
I started to
away?
drift off, I could feel that cold feeling again.
Oh, he
I
has.
lifted my head
He
and
has
saw the
red eyes
man
now.
standing in front of me. The man's
Go
eyes
away,
were
Willy
red
Wonka.
now.
Ain't nobody
With
wants
a
your
low
chocolate.
voice, just like on that November night, it looked at me and said,
Never
Probably
leave.
push him around those chocolate bars.
Always here.
That is a crazy story. I think we're gonna end. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video today, and I want to hope you guys like and subscribe to Mr. Gaming and to Llama Art. You know, they did a very fantastic job on these, and also the Bob the Builder one was a pretty scary one at the beginning too. That was crazy. I mean, the guy's neck, he had like, it was, I don't know how to explain it. It was that crazy. But we are going to end the video right here today, and I want to hope you guys. And one more thing before we end this video. I would like you guys to go subscribe to Cycle Gaming. This one right here. I like to get you guys to go subscribe to him. He was an old buddy from school, and he is no longer with us now. But I really want you guys to go subscribe to him. That was his always dream. He wanted to be famous, and he plays Minecraft. And the people who like Minecraft, you guys go watch the video. I know I like Minecraft, so I went to go watch his videos. You know, he was pretty good pro at that. He has, I think, 70 subscribers now. Cause I told some of my friends to go subscribe to him. But yeah, as you guys see in the picture, I mean, you guys go subscribe to him, and yeah, I wanna hope you guys like and subscribe to this video. Turn on notifications, remember that. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.